Okay, we have a few people hopping on. Good morning, everybody. I know there was a few people that couldn't join us until today. So put in the comments again where you're watching from. See who's showing up today.
We had lots of winners from last night.
Oh, yeah. If you have not watched the video from last night, the crop party and the small project video from last night, we had lots of winners. We were spinning the wheel, drawing names. Everybody's name was in the bag. We had a lot of gift cards.
So for those of you who are wondering, that bag is a different bag than what we actually draw the grand prizes from. Grand prizes, a whole set of everybody's name goes back, is in there already. It's set aside. We don't even get into that until it's time to draw for grand prizes, somewhere around 1 o'clock today. The other one is our door prize, and we draw, whenever the train goes by, we draw a name from there. We gave away a lot of train prizes, and also the Wheel of Fortune.
Yep, so there's separate bags for everything, and everybody is in there. And somebody had asked yesterday, and we couldn't see the comment until later, but how many people are in the bag, and we are close to 150.
So your chances are 1 in 150 of winning the biggie. And the biggie for next year always is, the very first thing we draw for is a free private reserve anywhere you choose. It doesn't include the hotel, but it does include the price of the weekend. So that's something you can hope for today when we do the first drawing, will be for a tuition for a private reserve.
Okay, let's get started. But yeah, say hi this morning. Let us know where you're watching from. I know there's some new people on this morning. And we'll turn it over to Patsy.
Good morning, everybody. I am ready to rock and roll again. We are on day 3 of our busy private reserve weekend here in rainy Washington. And I will tell you, it is rainy right now. Last week it was beautiful, but today a little chilly. So I can see I'm ready for winter. We have some fun projects today, much simpler than yesterday. Not a lot of major bells and whistles, but a few little things. So we're going to spend 1 hour on each class. So at the end of each hour, we will switch out to another class. And some of these are going to take you 30 minutes to do. I would say the very first one, which is this one with the little cute little flip-flops, that will be the one that takes the most time. So we're going to do it first. And I think we're ready to go. We're going to draw more prizes today. We have lots of grand prizes. And again, if you are the lucky one, we have the grand prize bag set completely aside, so you don't have to worry that your name got drawn and won't be in there. It's in a whole different bag. And we have several things to give away, but most importantly, it's the top prize. And the very first thing that we draw for is a free private reserve for next year. So let's get started.
All right, just set up here.
And the first class is the flip-flop class. Okay, so we are going to do a little bit of cutting, and it's really minimal this time, very little. There's one sheet of paper. We need to make all these little starburst pieces, and that's an easy process. We're going to use our diagram, which is on the main sheet this time. We don't even have a second sheet. So it's down here at the bottom, and you can see it's going every which way. So the way you do this is you're going to take one of your floral papers from your French Riviera paper line. We're going to cut off the label. Just trim off that label and get rid of it to start with. We don't need that. You know, somebody sent me, they saved these labels and they chalked up the edges and they wove it into a mat. It was adorable. So Quick Quote Scrapbook Company showed up every time. And then sometimes the label, the name of the paper showed up. It was really cute. So if you can't throw anything away, that might be one of the things you want to save. You can make a mat with that. So what this entails is using this diagram, you're going to start, and if you get lost, right up here at the very top on the first bullet point, it tells you how to cut that paper. You're going to take that 12 by 12 yellow floral paper, and you're going to cut it into 6 2 by 12 strips. So let's do that to start with. 6 2 by 12 strips. Six 2 by 12. And while we're doing this, our chalk ink colors that are suggested are dandelion. Oh, that's a nice, pretty bright yellow, just like this paper. Amber, that's a more subtle yellow. It's really a pretty one. Amethyst, a gorgeous purple. And Moonstone Agate. That's one I haven't used very much, but it's really pretty. It's a nice, soft kind of aqua color. So any of those would work really well, and if you want to try something other than those, just keep in mind those are suggestions. There's also Baja Blue, there's Sunset, there is Desert Sun, those are all nice yellows, and there's some nice bright blues, there's other purples, so try something different if you want to. Okay, now that we have 6 2-inch by 12-inch pieces, we're going to take each one of those and I'm going to put it in my trimmer with the top right corner right into the groove of my trimmer, and then the bottom left corner in the groove also. Now, once you start cutting, it's not a big deal if you don't get perfect corners. Those little points on these triangles are not going to show at all. So as you can see, every point is hidden behind this photo mat. So don't even worry about if you get it off by a quarter of an inch, a half an inch, that doesn't matter. As long as you end up with some triangles that are relatively triangle. So it will look like that. Okay? And we're going to do that on all 6 pieces until we have 12 triangles. And I will say, when it's really is effective, if this is not my original picture of these pages, because at one of the conventions all my samples they grew legs and walked off, so therefore we had to throw some more together really quick. So mine don't have the chalking on them that I did on the original one, but what I will say, it is really effective to chalk these edges, and I'm going to show you in a minute, before you chalk anything, that some parts of these triangles are not going to be chalked, so don't waste your time or your ink on edges that won't even be shown. So let's get all 6 pieces cut in 2 triangles each. And then you also have in your kit, and to the die cuts, you have some little short pre-cut die cut triangles. So you want to punch those out too, so go ahead and locate those, punch them out, hold them apart. So you'll end up with 12 triangles, 12 big ones, and I think there's about 6 or 8 little ones. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And you may end up with an extra one. We did, but we put that extra one in just because everybody's page is going to look a little bit different. If you need one more little space to be covered, then you might need that one. If not, just toss it. I dare you to toss it. I know some of you are going to save it for posterity. I don't know, maybe there's 8. I think I missed one. Okay, you're going to have 12 big triangles, 7 or 8 small triangles, and this is going to be our background. Now, what we're going to work on first is this page, which is actually page 2 with the sunburst. And so when I talk about whatever we're doing, we're working on page 2 to start with instead of page 1. And the very background of page 2 is this teal paper that looks like this. One side has lots of colored stripes, other side is teal. So let's go ahead, while you have your trimmer out, let's go ahead and trim off that label. And then here is the only tricky part of this whole thing, and that's arranging. Now I will say on this one, these little pieces are a little bit far apart, and that's okay, totally okay. I think on my original, they were a little closer together, and that meant we used more of the small triangles. So again, this is going to take a little bit of thought, and what I suggest, if you can see some of these triangles, a lot of that, the edges don't show. So after you lay it out, then you can pick up your pieces. You can see where that chalking will end, that will be covered up. And don't waste your time to chalk edges that are going to be covered. So with that said, let's just play a little bit here with our, what I usually do is start in this corner and make things point in this way. And I might go back and rearrange a little bit. But the important thing is you can't, your square end of your triangle has to always overlap the edge of your paper. If it comes in like this, that little triangle of blue paper is going to always show. Okay? So make sure that when you start layering up your pieces, that every edge is covered by part of the triangle. And do you see what I mean here? Now if I move this in and you have that, that's always going to show. So you want to move it out, because eventually when we get this where we want it, we will glue everything down, and then you turn it over and trim off all the excess edges. So anything that you don't cover up here around the edge will end up showing. So let's just start laying them out. And again, you'll probably end up readjusting at some point, because if you move it down, you've used up more space and you've used up more of the triangle. If you move it up, your space is skinnier. Let's just use our big triangles to start with and see where we go. Now, they can overlap down here. That doesn't matter either, because again, all this space here is going to be covered up. So just start laying things out, and then when you see, if you like it, then you can go back and grab some color, chalk up those edges.
Jody said she's using wildflowers to accent the pink, which is
Oh.
actually a really pretty,
Yes,
an
it is.
older color that we
It
had. But
is. It's gorgeous. That's a really good idea. Wildflowers. If you have that one, it is one of the older colors, but it's a real bright, gorgeous pink. So see, I feel like I'm getting off track here, so I'm going to readjust a little bit and make my points come in to here. So again, everybody's is going to look a little bit different, and that's okay. Basically, you want to end up with this pretty sunburst or starburst or whatever you want to call it. We're going to call it sunburst because it's got flip-flops. So just keep laying out pieces. And I'm going to pull mine in because it needs to take up more space. And again, you want to make sure that you're covering up the edges. So it takes just a little time to adjust all these things into the space that you want. And again, in here in the middle does not matter, just make it work. Okay, and then once I get down here, you can grab your little pieces and come in closer to the bottom. Okay, so see what I mean? I have a couple left over because some of my spaces are wide up here, so if you want to narrow them up, you can. You have the extra piece that you can come back in and... So mine's a little messy. If I was going to actually glue these down for my first time, I would spend a little more time making them a little more even. But that's pretty darn close. So now that I have them where I want them, and you can see where you're going to have a little bit of ink, just chalk up just the space that you want. So I'm going to give you some time here and play with that. That takes this part right here takes the most time of the whole entire kit, but it's the pretty part. So go ahead and take some time and arrange your triangles however you see fit. And again, I ended up with 2 left over. You may have none left over, and that's okay. Mine are a little bit wide apart here. I could probably squeeze in another one here. So chalk your edges, adjust things. Just making sure you've covered up the entire edge with each piece of triangle. And if you see that a triangle is interfering over here, just cut the end of it off. Don't need that anyway, it's not going to be seen. So while you're adding that, I don't know if I mentioned the trips that we have coming up or not. I know Tracy said that the cruise is sold out, the one for January, but we will probably be doing another one in a year or two. In 2027, we have a trip to Malta and Sicily, Italy. So that, I've been wanting to go there for a long time, so we have that one booked. It's for April 10th of 2027, so that's like a year and a half or more. And then in August, we have the Scotland and the military tattoo in August. That's the only time they do the tattoo. If you've never been to a military tattoo, they are fabulous. And I think Scotland is probably the granddaddy of them all. And I've always wanted to go to that one. It's where they have all the military bands and bagpipers and dancers, and you have stadium kind of seating all along the road that leads up to the castle in Edinburgh. So anyway, if that's something you're interested in, either one of those, we have just launched those not very long ago, so there's still space on those. And there will be others coming up soon. The one to Sicily is through Colette Tours. The one to Scotland is through Go Ahead Tours. We just came back from Kenya this summer, and it was amazing, an amazing eye-opener to a culture that we have no idea how they even survive there. But they are happy people, poor people, and animals, so many animals. It was amazing. We absolutely loved it. And I love the ladies that I travel with. We have, I started doing this a while back, probably 10 years. We went on our first trip to Ireland. And I found that meeting so many wonderful ladies throughout scrapbooking and teaching classes across the country, that I found that a lot of these ladies just wanted to travel. Their husbands didn't want to travel, they've lost their husbands, or they don't like their husbands, they don't want to travel with them. So anyway, there's several of us that go quite often, and they are wonderful, absolutely wonderful. I just have the best group ever. So if you want to try traveling with us, let us know. We do have a trip coming up in a year to Tahiti, Bora Bora, and Moorea. I think that one's really close to sold out, but if there may be one space left, so if it's something you're interested in, let me know. I can check it out. I'm not guaranteeing anything on that one. And it's on a Windstar ship, which is a big yacht, and it leaves out of Tahiti, and you spend first 3 nights in Moorea in an overwater bungalow, and then we spend 6 or 7 days and nights traveling around Moorea, Bora Bora, Raiatea, Taha, several of those islands. Absolutely my most favorite place in the whole wide world. So you email me, and if there may be one spot left on that one, so I'm not even completely sure about that, but email me if you're interested, and I will check it out and see. We are also going to Bali. It's basically sold out, but we did have a cancellation or 2 on that one. So if that's one that you're interested in, it's Bali, Java, and Komodo, where the Komodo dragons are. It's next May. So I can check on that one too. Again, it was sold out at one point. There may be a space or 2 on that one, so let me know and I can check it out for you. If you're interested in Bali, I've been to Bali, and it's an amazing country also. So how's it going? All these little triangles. It's kind of Zen-like when you start placing these and separating them and making sure they're equal distance apart, or it's going to make you crazy one way or the other. So we'll take a few more minutes here and let everybody get a chance to get their triangles in place and chalked up a little bit. And you don't have to chalk them, but I will say it really makes a big difference in how each piece defines itself against that blue paper. We have convention classes that I have to have completely designed by the end of next week, and I'm not totally there yet. I still have 3 or 4 more kits. But I think I will show you the paper lines and let you know that we have a test weekend coming up here in the first part of January. We also have a test weekend in Upland, which is 1-day event, but we're offering it for 2 different days, and that's the first part of February. And then they will be at A to Z will be teaching these, Viv from A to Z, at the Creating Keepsake conventions. One is in Lancaster, one is the GASC, which is in the Dallas area. One is Houston, and what's the other one, Stacy? There's a note right there that's with a list on it, with the stars beside it. That's what.
St. Louis.
St. Louis. The other one is St. Louis, and that will be the first one coming up in March. So I'm going to show you just a little bit of what I have started, and actually I can show you how the design process works for some of these, and once we get in maybe to the next class that doesn't take up a whole lot of time. but we will be having 8 different classes in the conventions, and we will offer 6 of those at the test day here at the Holiday Inn in Chehalis. And those 2 are online right now. You can sign up for those if you're interested. One will be a Friday, one will be a Saturday in Upland, California, which is in the Ontario area. Okay, so what I think I'm going to do, and because the rest of this kit is really pretty easy, so what I'm going to show you next is what happens next is, okay, so you have all, mine aren't glued down, but you have all these pieces that are sticking out beyond the edge, okay? You have them glued down, you have them chalked, you have them where you want them. So now you're going to just turn this over, slide it into your trimmer, and you trim off all those square edges of each triangle. And then when you turn it over, it looks like this. Okay? Super simple, but it leaves a really pretty pattern. So I'm going to move mine aside and just walk you through a couple more things. And then I'm going to just let you work on your own, because some of you it's going to take a while to get these triangles all in the place that you want them. And some of you probably did this yesterday or last week. As soon as you got your packet in, you're like, oh my gosh, I got to make these. So you're way ahead. So the next thing is for this actual page is you have a lot of flip-flops, but you have this circle, and this will go on to your page after you get your little triangles on, okay? So you have a circle with the purple flip-flops, which is this. You have yellow flip-flops, which glue onto the purple. You know what? I think you could do either side. That'd be cute too. If you wanted to flip them over, you would have this pretty pattern flip-flops. Ours were yellow, but you could totally do that. That's cute. Chalk those up a little bit. And then what you have is purple flowered straps, and those will go on next, okay? So you have a couple of big ones. You have lots of little flip-flops that these will go on page 1 or 2. 1. Get it confused here.
They said, Karen said, are you coming back to Mega Meet? Yes, that is another show. We will be at the Mega Meet.
Right.
We will personally be at that one. A to Z doesn't do that one, but we will be there.
Right. That's our favorite. We love the Mega Meet. So for those of you who haven't ever been to the Mega Meet, you should go at least once. It's out of Detroit, about 30 minutes in Novi, Michigan, and we absolutely love that one. It's very well run, and we do go back there every year. That's the only convention that we do every year. Okay, so there's your flip-flops. Here is the pieces for the photo mat that is going to be on this page. So there's your purple. It's a 5x7. Here's your yellow. It is a 4.5 by 6.5, and be sure and chalk up edges here. And then your pretty pattern paper 4x6 goes on here. So you want to make sure you don't completely glue the bottom half of your circle down until you get your photo mat tucked in. Over here we have another photo mat. This is page 1, and it's orange matte 5x7 and a 4.5 by 6.5 with pattern, with this pretty tie-dye pattern. And then more flip-flops and this frame that's already connected. All you have to do is add your pictures and glue it down, and lots of layered flowers. So use your inks on your flowers and then little rhinestones to finish it out with. So we have our yearly gala coming up that my daughter Stacy heads off every year, and that's, for those of you who have been to our other events know that we always support the Coats for Kids, and that's one part of it. It's combined now with what's called Carly's Closet, and that's an amazing organization put together by a mom who wants to honor her daughter, who we lost a couple of years ago at age 21 to cancer. So now she takes, she started a nonprofit that provides a closet at, I think it's either 13 or 17 different schools around our area for kids that just need something to wear. And it's really exploded. It's amazing. So our Coats for Kids partner with her, and that's where most of the coats go right now. There's also a couple of other things. It's the Toys for Tots and foster kids. But I lost her. Oh, I know what I was going to say. My grandson last year, Stacy's youngest son, Quentin, who AKA Chef Underpants. So if you've ever watched his videos on my Facebook page, know that he loves to cook. So last year he offered a lasagna dinner, and we thought, I thought that'd be a good thing to get him out there and doing something community-wise. Well, we thought if we got $50 or $100 for it, we would be thrilled. Well, I think it went for something like $1,250. So Grandma, who is not, I don't call myself the best cook. I can make lasagna, but I'm probably not the best at it. So these people wanted us to come to their house and make the dinner there, and it was just hilarious. It was absolutely so much fun. Quentin did a great job of putting his lasagna together, and I kind of dropped the ball because the hostess kept pouring wine in my glass, and I just kept drinking it. So I wasn't a lot. Chef Underpants pretty much had to man his own. But what I'm getting at is this year he wants to do it again. Only now he wants to offer a Star Wars dinner. And I'm having a hard time wrapping my head around this one because he said we can make Ewok soup and we can make galactic macaroni and cheese. So anyway, if you're coming to our event, which is next weekend, you can bid on Chef Underpants' galactic mac and cheese, and we will get it all fixed up. He will get it cooked and brought to your house. So anyway, that's what we got on our plates for the next week, is getting our gala off the ground. So basically, we are done with this page, and we don't need to start again until, what time is it? 10. So that gives you about 20 minutes to finish everything out on this. Stacey, do you have any, we've got lots of time here, the next 20 minutes, if you have anything you want to show them, or do you want to wait till the next?
I will wait until the next one. We have Club Q coming up. I wanted to show you our current Club Q kit and all the free stuff you get when you become a Club Q member. And we'll do that at the next.
At the next one?
So they have about 15 minutes or so to finish this one up, and then.
Hand me the ink box. There's a lot of people I'm sure that didn't. I showed them all yesterday, but we have a few minutes. They can either watch or not watch it, and if you can pay attention to your triangles, go ahead. So I did this yesterday, and see what a mess this is. This is our display box for our brand new inks. See the pretty writing on there? I had to do that in order to know which ones. But this is called the Seasons Collection, and we have sun bleached, and I did these yesterday, just a little bit of color on each one. So here is sun bleached, and we have Harvest Moon. Looks like this. It's Harvest Moon. Gorgeous new colors. I'm always so excited to get new colors in. This is Rustic Acorn. This one is Pink Lemonade. Rain Cloud. It's like a silvery gray. It's a really pretty one. It's probably my favorite gray so far. Jack Frost. This is a light frosty looking silver gray. Mulled wine. Now, somebody said it sounded like I'm saying moldy wine. No, it's mold, M-U-L-L-E-D. Mold wine looks like this. And that's a really pretty deep reddish brown. Fresh cut grass, a very pretty green. Robin's egg, actually looks pretty much like a robin's egg. Foxglove, a deep dark purple. Spiced cider. This one? Okay.
so.
Spiced cider. Looks like that. And the last one is April showers. A pretty greenish, what would you call that?
I don't know.
Jade?
It's almost kind of
Like
like
a
an
jade
aqua.
Cross between aqua and a jade. But anyway, that's our new colors. They won't be here until probably January or towards the end of January, which is sad, I know, but it does take some time to produce these. But these are all the pretty new colors of our inks. Okay, and then Stacy has something for you after the next class, so we will go ahead and give you a little bit of time here to finish out this page. And right at 11 o'clock, we will start with what is called Friends. That'll be the next class.
10 o'clock,
10 o'clock.
not 11.
10 o'clock. 10 o'clock.
We'll be right back at 10
I'm still
o'clock.
struggling with daylight savings time because I haven't changed my watch yet. Maybe I should.
All right, we'll be back at 10.